Then the next and last point on this agenda is a brief community panel discussion, which we usually put at the very end of SMWCons. For this, I would like to ask the organizers and Carsten to come here. Is that yours? All right, one more chair. Okay. So, long and exhausting days.
Interesting.
Interesting, which is the only thing which can be okay. Boring can also be exhausting, yes, but exhausting in a good way, yeah. So we have had another very nice SMWCon. Surprising, quite amazing for me usually to see them and to see what is going on. Half of the things, even in the very central extension, I'm not even aware of myself. And certainly the applications are very fascinating. So what we usually do at the end of these little conferences is to have a little discussion round, feedback round, which gives people the opportunity to tell us where to go, what to do next, and how to shape this type of events. Because I already told some of you, I mean, this is an unusual event in many respects. I mean, we are not a open source community conference in a pure sense, like maybe some software conferences in that space. Or we are not a pure Wikipedia conference, which is about wiki content mainly. We are not a pure commercial conference where we only talk about possible exploitations. And we are also not only a research conference where we talk about academic things. All of this somehow comes together, and in a quite fruitful way, I find, in this type of events. And in a way, we have to invent this kind of event while we go along, as we did it with the software, actually. So that fits very well. But we are always happy about hearing your feedback on that. So maybe. And is there anything from the organizers maybe to start with? But we can also start with questions or input right away if somebody has some. Now the question is, who is going to jump around? And is that me?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to jump around. Yeah.
I would give a great thanks for the conference, of course. And my mind was, did we make our opinion about, for example, privacy stuff? When we saw these new features of the Google, not Google, sorry, my English is not the best. For example, when we connect all the data all together, and we only see the benefits of this, but there are no discussion in this round what could happen with this data when we connect personal data with geodata. And we only see the benefits, but we have to be a little bit careful when we all connect these data. That's what we say. Google is collecting all our data from Google Mail to Google Maps, and we just do the same. And there's no making up our minds what could happen with these data. We only see the benefits, and maybe in the future we should see what could be. How could we handle this?
Interesting point. Are there immediate replies? Otherwise, I am happy to give that to the panel if somebody has a comment on that.
I can say something.
Yeah,
actually.
nice.
So in general, I agree with that, but you have to have a goal, right? And the goal is to support things like we do, like adding structured data to the wiki, making it useful. And I agree with you that we have to be concerned if personal data is related. But on the other hand, there's so much data out there already. That means we should, if you have a wiki for your purposes, just don't put this data in there if you have concerns with that. But I think in general, the technology is neutral, and we should develop it if it has a good course. Of course, everything can be abused to some extent.
Yeah, don't abuse the multimedia wiki. I tried that on the first day already. Yeah, it always is applicable. Okay, yeah. Danny?
Also like to add on that question that this is a question that actually should go to a different level of maybe conference or audience. because here we are developing one tool. Semantic Media Wiki is successfully used in applications like cancer research, like astronomy, and like helping in catastrophic situations, like for example the United Nations. I think this is great, and so far I don't know about really bad use cases where it was really actually applied. You can think a long time about potential misuses of the software, but it can also hamper you down with actually developing good stuff, and there we have to be careful. Having said that, yes, on a higher level, maybe on a policy level, maybe on a level like professional computer scientist organizations, those kind of questions must be asked and are asked. Just that I don't think that this is the right audience or the right forum for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Let's look at the applications which are actually good or bad. And from what I've seen here, at least, I would not find anything which is in danger of violating this privacy. And also, as a computer scientist, I must say I don't see a technical solution which could allow us to prevent this type of problem in any way. It seems to be a social solution that is needed there, maybe a legal one. Okay.
Solution in a way would be just to put a mission statement over there, just to write, we don't like that Semantic Media Wiki is used in this respect or something like, or we take care of that it's not used over there. So I think it could be a chance to just put a statement in the area over there. So it's just a small thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think main points on this have been exchanged. I think we cannot completely solve that, but it's a deep concern, of course, for anybody who does develop technology. Will it be used for good or bad? Maybe not for everybody, but for some. So, other topics we should touch upon. Yeah.
I also want to thank very much everybody of the organization, because it has been a very inspiring and well organized event. And what I'm looking for is ways that Semantic Media Wiki can help ordinary companies, because also every ordinary company is struggling with how to organize its structured and non-structured data. So when you talk about structured data, you talk about all kinds of horrible software, and when you talk about non-structured data, you talk about Word or PowerPoint, and every ordinary company is struggling. And I think Semantic Media Wiki offers very interesting opportunities to help those guys. And I have the feeling that has never been at all the target group of you, Marcus, and other.
I see some frowns there, so maybe somebody would like to reply to
Okay.
Yeah. Are we not targeting companies sufficiently?
So to be honest, I don't really understand. So we provide technology which can be used for exactly what you say. You can organize your processes, you can share your documents, you can add metadata to those documents in an explicit way, you can use this metadata, but the companies also have to come, right? So we can make an offer, we cannot force anyone to use our technology because we think it's the best one. There are other ways to doing similar things, let's say SharePoint, Confluence or something. They might not be as good as our tools, and they are not, but we cannot force anyone to use this. If you're saying, okay, you need to get your word out so that companies actually know about Semantic Media Wiki, I tend to agree that this could be improved, and I think this is like a regular pattern in all these final panel discussions we have over the years. I think that's always the same thing. you have such a great tool, but no one knows about it. That's maybe that's a good summary. And I think Yaron is doing a good thing by providing a book so that we have something to hand out, to point people to. Maybe this is one approach towards this.
Yeah, I think that the promotion of the Semantic Media Wiki is it has to be one of the priorities for the community, but also one of the priorities for the companies that use Semantic Media Wiki as their tool. Because the more people use the software, the more potential developers comes, the more potential tester comes, the more the software grows that we are based on. And on this conference, first steps were made. We invited the representatives from companies that develop wikis that are not SMW, and I hope that on the next conference we will find a way to target the audience who don't know anything about the semantic web or semantic media wiki, because it's very important for us to do so. And semantic result formats that Yaron shows is a very big step. Improving documentation is a big step. Use cases and testimonials also.
I have one quick note there to add. I think Wikidata will help us a lot, because it will make people know about this and they will want something similar. So SMW will often be the obvious thing to go for.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we try to have synergies with Wikidata as much as possible. Also, as you have heard, on the technical level, we will even have similar libraries used for data representation. And these things will work very well together. And working with Wikidata will be an important thing for many people. And Semantic Media Wiki is just a sister project in this sense, and conceptually very closely related. So I think it will certainly help to grow the community even further. Also, I have to also say, I don't think we are doing that badly. I mean, in terms of community. Okay, are there other points to make? Nisha.
I think we should encourage more developers to come, and you can, if you know, it's on.
It's on. It's okay.
Yeah. So if you know somebody who is still doing his studies, so you can tell them that to participate in Google Summer of Code like I did, and then they can be part of the whole project and they can contribute in the future, and so the project will grow on its own.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So well, again, in terms of development, I think we are growing quickly. If you look at the stats at Olo or Media Wiki in Garrett, you can see quite some good numbers there. Okay, any other points or remarks on that topic, but also maybe other topics we should touch on here?
I would have a new topic.
Yes,
so
please.
If anyone has a follow-up on this one. Okay, so I'd like to ask about Enterprise. So I would like to discuss it if no one minds it, because I think Enterprise with SMW Plus was a kind of very great thing to have for Semantic Media Wiki, and I'm wondering what people say about what kind of impact do you think does it have that Enterprise wasn't able to commercialize SMW Plus sufficiently to survive. So I'm wondering whether that is a bad sign for SMW, or whether it really doesn't had anything to do with it and we shouldn't mind about it, and actually there is a market for semantic wikis commercially wise.
I don't know any internals, and I'm not forbidden to tell any of these things I don't know, but you have to see, of course, that Enterprise as a technology company had main products which were not SMW. So the business was not quite developing semantic wiki software and selling it. Also, that might have contributed, but it wasn't in the first place a company built on that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See you. So the question was if there are any plans to get SMW Plus integrated into the community. Again, it's something for Michael, I guess.
So this is a very different question, completely unrelated to your first one, just to make this clear. So my company, it's called DIQA, D-I-Q-A. We're trying to keep SMW up, but we are a very small company, right? And that means we cannot probably support all the 20-something extensions that we had in the past. And very likely this will not be able to maintain them. Everything that we don't maintain will go to Git, and we'll see what happens. If the community picks it up, good. If not, they'll die like probably many other extensions before. The core of SMW Plus is what we will maintain in the future. And I discussed with Markus today, maybe our faceted search things will even go to the kernel of SMW, because Solus is everywhere now and might be a core feature. So we're trying to keep the functionality up, but predictions about the future are always hard.
Yeah, just for the recording. I'm not even sure if somebody is going to watch the record.
Okay, you said you will load it up to Garrett or Git. Could you please announce that on the Semantic Media Wiki list so people know about that? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, I think also what Michael made also another important point. When we say we could have Solr functionality in the core, it's not going to be the Solr extension. It's not going to be the new Solr extension. It's going to be new code, partly based on that. But that's the beauty of open source, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to copy a file to reuse software. The concepts are what matters. People have solved problems, and we will continue to work based on that, just like Wikidata is based on Semantic Media Wiki. Also, it's basically a complete re-implementation of many things. But still, I mean, there was ground prepared there for many years. And I think this conceptual progress is also very important, not just preserving all outdated PHP files maybe that are around somewhere. Okay. More on this topic, more on other topics. Maybe we didn't touch much on wider community issues. And we also didn't touch much on anything related to this particular event, of course. So is there any feedback we should maybe take into account for organizing this type of event? That is fine. I mean, maybe I would, from the viewpoint of the organizers, it would be possible to maybe remark on this particular one.
Maybe I can formulate the question a little bit in a different way. So here we brought together the guys from our community, both from the business community, sub-community, and the users of Semantic Media Wiki, also the developers, and also some kind of folks from the other sides of semantic wikis, because we have now feel a responsibility for all the semantic wiki destination now. So are there any other kinds of presenters that you probably want to hear during the next SMWCons? I don't really know. Maybe the people that have a similar task that can be solved with Semantic Media Wiki and they just not very aware of it, or any ideas on this? Because it's probably maybe very
it's a bit like, yeah, topic requests. It's of course difficult to come up with concrete speakers now, but feedback on that is of course also welcome. Not just now, if you don't have an idea now, we are also available in email, and sometimes I'm available in email, at least these people are available in email. Other people are available elsewhere. And so feedback is always welcome. Something else which is an important topic for us to discuss, you've seen where the next SMWCon is going to be. It is still open where the next European SMWCon is going to be. We've had quite a few in Germany now, one in the Netherlands, which was also great. Wouldn't be too bad to go to some other place at some point. Happy if somebody wants to make a bid now, but of course this can done in due course and with a good consideration. But if you think that your organization would actually be a good place to host such an event, to attract people, to also make people more aware maybe of what your organization is doing, that is certainly something that could be arranged. So please let us know, drop us an email if you think you have a good idea where the next European one could be placed. So any other remarks? We do not have Asian SMWCons. Also, with the great work that James has been doing and we have seen today, we may need to consider that at some point in the future. But so far, we don't have an Asian one, no.
Is there a trade to St. Petersburg? It's possible to organize such a conference in St. Petersburg, and in fact, earlier before this event, Marcus have been in St. Petersburg during the conference we have been organizing about the semantic web in general. But there are some visa issues, and it's need to be analyzed. This possibility. Yeah.
So. We can't. We don't have a bid. We can't vote. But I mean, it's actually an interesting suggestion. And just in case we would ever have it there, it is a great city to go to. And don't be scared off by the visa issues. It's a standard procedure. Some fee is required, but in the end, it's not a big problem. And it's really beautiful place to visit. Okay. Any other comments? Any other business? Anything from the panel? No. Oh, oh. Yeah, well, yeah.
I think it's some kind of a new format of talks on the conference would be very interesting next time. Actually, Marcus initially had this idea, so that if you need some kind of functionality and you need some problem to solve, and you think that it could be the general solution for something, you just go for something like lightning talk and try to describe your use case and why is it should be very interesting for the community. Yeah, I think such a format will be good, because during the coffee breaks we came up with some features that 3 or 4 people among us are in need to.
Yeah, that would be an option. Of course, new formats are always an option. Okay. Final issue, which many people noted: our gender rate isn't very good. It would be great to involve more women in our community. Not for any higher goal, but even if only for the sake of getting hold of all that potential that we are missing out on. We could easily have 100 instead of 50 people here if we would have a balanced gender rate. So definitely there's a lot of good ideas and talent out there that we somehow fail to attract properly. So if you are in a company, an organization, or any other place where this can be decided or affected in some way, then maybe next time you wonder who is going to come to that event, you can motivate some colleagues or other people, but we will also think about what to do in this respect. Of course, it is a known difficult problem in IT. Input on that is always welcome.
Yeah. One suggestion. So we starting this now, so I cannot say any lessons learned about it. But we have at our university at KIT, we will now have a seminar this semester on for applications of Semantic Media Wiki, and I think this is one way to attract more students and maybe even more female students to Semantic Media Wiki.
I mean, of course, it's clear we are faced with big structural problems from the ground up, starting from the studies at the universities where we already have a bad gender rate. But somehow we have to think how we can work around that. And we have, I think, very attractive and interesting applications. If other places in the computer sciences don't get their female participants, bad luck for them. But I think we can certainly interest some more people here with the stuff we have. Okay, any other feedback on any other issues or on this issue? if not, I think I propose to adjourn, call it a day, maybe go for dinner somewhere together if you're staying around, and see you next time in New York, hopefully.
Maybe I can say one last word, Markus. So Markus and Yuri organized the conference on site very well, and Simon and his team organized everything, and they were hardly visible, but everything worked. So I think that's a good, very good sign. So I'd like to thank you. Like to thank you in the name of everyone. Maybe you can clap now. Thank you very much. And I think that's it.
Thank you. I rushed over that, and thank you also, Michael, for being the general chair coordinating the overall event.